A light mist clung to the urban avenues that evening, transforming the streetlights into glowing auras amid the shadows. Mark Weston lingered beside his dark SUV, jacket collar raised against the gusts, surveying the lot near the neighborhood refuge. He hadn't intended to halt. His workday had already extended well past closing time. Yet, something about the lady perched solitary on the seat, arms huddled beneath an old sweatshirt, gripping a battered satchel, drew him nearer before logic could pull him back. Her gaze, dimmed but watchful, shifted his way as if assessing his trustworthiness. He paused, grip clenching on his vehicle fob. He had vowed to himself post-separation that his routine would be reliable, secure for his 9-year-old girl, Emily. No further rash interventions. Still, here he lingered, halting in the damp for an unfamiliar face who appeared scarcely pieced together. "You can't remain outdoors till dawn," Mark murmured kindly, advancing nearer. A downpour's approaching. The lady tensed. "I'm okay," she whispered, even as her tone quivered. He knelt slightly so she wouldn't strain upward. "I'm Mark. I manage a firm close by. I don't typically intrude on folks, but you seem in need of shelter and heat." For a moment, she uttered, "Nothing," her stare flitting to the roadway like hunting a getaway. Then she exhaled wearily and met his eyes fully. "Claire," she replied softly. "I'm a caregiver. Or I used to be." The manner in which she phrased it struck him like a rock. He nodded toward the SUV. "Join me at my place. Only for the evening. There's a guest bedroom, and Emily, my child, will welcome a visitor." Claire stilled, astonishment flashing over her features. Then uncertainty. "Why offer aid to me?" Mark lacked a simple reply. Perhaps because he understood the ache of having it all slip away. Perhaps because Emily had queried why the homeless lacked roofs and he had no words. "Because you appear worthy of an opportunity," he stated plainly. She trailed him to the vehicle, reluctant yet too exhausted to resist. During the drive, the wipers thumped a constant beat, and quiet expanded between them until Claire breathed. "I never intended this, evicted from my flat, dismissed from my role. My mother fell ill, and I lingered at the clinic for weeks. When I returned, it had all vanished." Mark eyed her briefly, then fixed on the path ahead. No need to elaborate. Not this evening. Within the Weston residence, Emily peered from behind the railing, her locks tousled from slumber. "Dad, who's she?" "This is Claire," Mark answered, affection weaving into his words. "She's our guest for a bit." Emily's timid grin warmed the space. Claire blinked rapidly, as if kindness was unfamiliar, and murmured, "Thank you." The ensuing days resembled tentative strides over thin frost. Claire navigated with caution, assisting in the galley, maintaining space, striving not to unsettle the serene pace of Mark and Emily's existence. She discovered herself chuckling once more at Emily's tales, the noise odd yet soothing. Mark, for his part, kept observing how Claire's aura illuminated the dwelling, how she sang softly while sorting garments, or the way she attended Emily's words with full devotion. But not all was smooth. Mark's enterprise faced a crossroads, and his executive team doubted his attention. Claire, still battling the embarrassment of her downfall, recoiled whenever she sensed she'd lingered too long. One night, after Emily had retired, she declared, "I ought to seek employment. I can't simply abide here." "You're no weight," Mark countered, resting against the surface. "But if job hunting eases your mind, I'll assist." They collaborated on her CV until deep into the hours, arms grazing as they hunched over his computer. An unvoiced spark hovered between them, both alarming and anchoring. Months onward, Claire landed a temporary medical role. The initial earnings drew moisture to her lashes. Mark and Emily marked the occasion with DIY pie, and chuckles echoed through the galley until the home seemed to beam. Yet, history wasn't finished challenging them. When Mark's former spouse suddenly declared she sought sole guardianship of Emily, ancient scars tore open. Mark grappled with fury and dread, uncertain how to demonstrate he could provide steadiness amid aiding Claire's recovery. Claire, in turn, questioned her place to remain as his realm risked splintering. One stormy dusk, akin to their initial encounter, Mark discovered Claire stuffing her pouch. "You've given plenty," she uttered, timbre unsteady. "I refuse to complicate matters with Emily." He advanced, pulse pounding. "You're not complicating a thing. You've enriched our world." Claire's vision brimmed. "You can't fathom what it signifies to be granted refuge when you feel unseen." "I can," Mark affirmed, laying a palm atop hers. For you've granted me the same. The guardianship session hovered stern and chill. But as the arbiter inquired about Emily's security, she interjected, startling all. My father crafts me flapjacks on weekends, she stated. She and Claire aids my studies. We're content. The verdict supported Mark, awarding him sole care. Beyond the tribunal, Claire embraced Emily firmly, sobs blending with mirth. Mark locked eyes with Claire, appreciation and a profounder emotion gleaming within. That dusk, as dusk draped the yard, Mark arranged 3 cups of hot chocolate on the veranda. Emily nestled amid them, exhaling blissfully. You realize, Mark murmured gently, regarding Claire, the evening I paused for you, I believed I was aiding another. It seems you were aiding me, as well. Claire's responsive grin quivered, yet held firm. She clasped his fingers, and side by side they beheld the constellations flicker to life, aware their paths had altered eternally. Not from one deed of benevolence, but from the subtle bravery to bare their souls and permit another.